Hello. I know it's not quite 7 o'clock, so I'm going to give it a couple more minutes. Meanwhile, hey, how you doing? Couple of side notes. Husband left, so he'd be quiet. That means the dogs are here. Here's hoping they don't decide to bark out the windows, right? If you are catching this on the replay, give me a heart. If you're catching this on the live, give me a laughy face, because that's how that goes, right? Am I in the quiet? Somebody shoot me a say hi or something so I know if I got this on the right page. Usually it says like put quiet mode on. Now it's only telling me tag friends or not. See? There she goes. Kids. And then I didn't bring a watch down, and do you know when you put this on live, it quits telling you the time. How's everybody's day going? I got notes so I can be respectful of your time. Hey there, how you doing? All right. Hey, who's on? I don't have my clock with me. Can you tell me what time it is? Hey there, how you doing? All right. All right, give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Shoot me a thank you. Appreciate that, Betsy. All right, 7 o'clock on the nose. I like to be respectful of time, so I'm going to get started. You can always catch the replay if you missed the first few minutes, I guess. So, this is the masterclass of menopause, the 3 M's of menopause. So, the plan for tonight is to talk about meals, to talk about movement, and to talk about some of the mind stuff, the mind effery that goes on with menopause. I've got a few frequently asked questions that I want to be sure to hit. If you have any questions along the way, be sure to drop them in the comments. Even if this is the replay that you are catching, drop them in the comments, and of course I'll get back to them. So, meals. Meals are a big deal in menopause, right? Now, I made a promise that we are going to have some actionable takeaways tonight. So the first thing I want to talk about with meals is, instead of focusing on all the things you have to give up, all the things you have to do, all the things you can't have anymore, I'd really love it if you would start to focus on, sorry, I had a mind blip. I'll get back to it. I would love for you to focus on the things that you get to add. And then my hope is that when you add all the things that you get to add, we start squeezing out some of the things that you used to think you have to give up, but really you're like fine giving them up because now you're eating the good stuff, right? Okay, so the first and foremost, biggest thing with meals that I would love for you to add is protein. In my experience, most women in the perimenopausal, menopausal, postmenopausal age frame, which could be as early as 35 and beyond, is that we don't get enough protein. Minimum 100 grams of protein a day. So that's like 4 5-ounce hunks of meat a day. Or let's see, an egg is like 6 grams of protein. A 4-ounce slab of beef is generally 30-ish grams of protein. Chicken, we're looking at 25 grams, right? Best to space them out throughout the day because your body can't eat a whole pound of steak. Hey there, Brenda, how you doing? Your body can't eat a whole pound of steak at one time or process it, right? So it's better to have, 4 and 5 ounce chunks at a time. Protein could be protein shakes. It could be vegetables. There is protein in vegetables. Mushrooms are higher in protein. Dark green vegetables, asparagus, Brussels sprouts, those are higher in protein. So don't discount the protein that's in vegetables. And if you're vegetarian or vegan, know that you can definitely get 100 grams of protein. You're just going to have to try a little bit harder than people that eat meat, right? So 100 grams of protein. Protein should also be eaten, at least the first few bites should be the first few bites of your meal, right? And that's got a lot to do with blood sugar. If we can keep our blood sugar from spiking throughout the day, when blood sugar spikes, insulin spikes. Insulin spikes means stored everything is fat. So that's why we want to curb all the blood sugar spikes that curb the insulin spikes that curb the storage, right? So protein first at every meal to boot. Start every meal with protein, get 100 grams a day. Next thing is vegetables at every meal. Now, for me, vegetables are hard at breakfast, but if you're a smoothie drinker or you like omelets, that's a great way to get vegetables in at breakfast as well. Green is best. Fewer calories, more bulk, lots of fiber. The more fiber you have, the more estrogen that gets out of your system. Estrogen also is a fat storing hormone, the more we have of it flooding around. Vegetables, think about soups, think about salads, right? Think about scrambles. Think about, you could put them in your shakes or your smoothies as well. That would be a way, but not as a juice, as a, the fiber and all. So blend it, don't juice it. And the third thing with meals is water. What are you drinking every day? Now, in the Mayo Clinic world, you're drinking your body weight divided by 2 in ounces. So if you weigh 150 pounds, that's 75 ounces of water every single day. Denise's happy world, you're drinking 100 ounces or more of water every single day to prevent dehydration, to help things move through, because constipation can be an issue in menopause as well, right? And especially if you start eating a lot more vegetables than you have been, constipation is an issue, right? So let's make sure we get the water in. Figure out your real weight, right? If you're 200 pounds, that's 100 ounces of water. Yeah, it's a lot. Start drinking it in the morning. And so you can be done with it like 3 or 4 hours before bedtime, so you get to sleep. So again, let's see what we can add. And then you don't have to worry about, oh, I have to take out my oatmeal. Oh, I have to take out my Twinkies. Oh, I have to take out my wine. If you are getting the water, then have the wine. If you are getting all the protein, then have the Twinkie. If you are getting all the vegetables, then have whatever it is you thought you had to give up. But my truest hope is that if you keep adding the things that are helpful, there'll be less and less room. Like, you won't be starving for a Twinkie, right? Just a side little tip note. Like, if I'm getting ready to leave work around lunchtime and I'm hungry, I have 2 choices, right? I can leave work hungry, knowing that in my half-hour drive I'm going to become starving, and that when I walk in the door I will not have the patience to cook anything, and so I will grab the Twinkie. Or I can eat the lunch before I leave work, and then I will not be starving when I get home, and then the Twinkie is not even a thought. So that's how that works. Time out. I realized I did not introduce myself and stuff at the beginning. My name is Denise Wellick Peterson. I've been a certified personal trainer for 17 plus years since I was in my mid-30s. My theory is always do what you can do now with the information you have. You can always adjust along the way. I started my perimenopause journey around the age of 36. Having 13-year-old twin daughters at the same time was probably not helpful. But my story is, my husband and I were getting ready for bed one night, and we were laughing and we were joking, and all of a sudden I was bawling and I was screaming, and my husband just looked at me like, what the hell? I'm so sorry. What did I do? How can it stop? Please make it stop. And at that point is when I started my menopause research. I have worked with Dr. Sarah Gottfried, the author of The Hormone Cure. I have worked with Dr. Jay Teta and Metabolic Effect. I have worked with Dr. Beth Westy and the Female Fat Solution. So, okay, there's my background. Should have started with that before y'all got on. If you missed the meals part, now go back for the meals part of the masterclass, right? I'm being respectful of time. I do want to try and get you out of here in 30 minutes. Say that, and I forgot to bring the clock down here. So if I start running over 7:30, somebody start like shaking their fist at me, okay? Thanks, guys. All right. One of the frequently asked questions I have surrounding meals is why so much protein? How so much protein? Oh my gosh, Denise, what the heck? So the why so much protein? So you don't get hungry. So you can build muscle, because muscle burns fat. Because if you don't build muscle, we are getting to be an age where if you are not actively trying to add muscle, you are actively losing muscle every single day. So you're going to need the protein to support the muscle you already have. And as we get into the movement, to increase the muscle you have, right? How do you get the protein? It's at every single meal. Sample of Denise's meals throughout the day. I start my day with a protein shake. I use the Vega brand protein shake that I just get at Target. It's 20 grams of protein. And then I add a scoop of collagen is another 10 grams of protein. Sometimes I add hemp seeds is another 5 grams of protein. There we have 35 grams of protein in my morning breakfast. Lunchtime, I generally will have a salad. I like the salads in a bag because they are easy and I don't have to chop the lettuce and blah, blah, blah. And yes, I eat all the toppings on it, and I add the meat from the night before, always adding about 4 ounces of meat to that salad. So whether that's burger, whether that's steak, whether that's chicken, add 4 or 5 ounces of that. I'm getting 25 to 35 grams of protein there. Supper time. I rely on Ken for supper. Ken is the cook around here. Ken knows that the requirement for supper is a hunk of meat and some green vegetables. He at least gives me warning when I need to put the green vegetables on. Hunk of meat is usually 6 ounces of something delicious, or even if it's not delicious, I just eat it because I don't want to cook. Salmon, tuna, whatever, right? If I am still hungry at bedtime, I will have another quick scoop of protein shake for another 20 grams. Supper is usually around 30 grams as well. So 35, 30, 30, 20. That's over 100, 110. Per the body scans I've been doing through the local gym, I need around 130 grams a day. So if I need to add some in, I might have a scoop of tuna. I might have a protein bar in the morning. I might just have some deli meat. I might have a couple hard-boiled eggs. I'm kind of starting to enjoy those, as long as Ken's making it. That's my thing, right? Okay, let's move on to the second M of menopause, and that is movement. There are 3 types of movement that are very important to the menopausal age woman. The first one is strength. Now, I alluded to that. You gotta lift some heavy stuff in order to increase your muscle mass. You increase your muscle mass because muscle burns more calories than fat. A pound of muscle burns on average 50 to 75 calories a day, just being you, just doing your daily work, 50 to 75 calories a day. A pound of fat burns 2. So if you can add 5 pounds of muscle onto your frame, you can burn an extra 250 calories a day. Just being you, 250 calories a day, works out to 5, works out to 1,000, works out to a little more than half a pound a week. Just doing what you already do by adding the muscle. How do you add the muscle? You lift really, really heavy things. Really, really heavy things are something that is definitely heavier than your purse, probably closer to being able to help your husband put the water softener salt in the thing, right? Heavy things, heavy workouts. So 10-pound dumbbells, probably not it, guys. 15 maybe, 20 maybe. If you can do an exercise, whether it's a dumbbell row or a chest press or a squat, if you can do it more than 12 times and look pretty good doing it, it's not heavy enough. you gotta lift more. If you can do it 12 times, your body can already lift that amount of weight. It's not going to affect any changes. If you cannot lift it 4 times nicely, you've picked something too heavy. So in my ideal world, when we do the workouts, we are shooting for 5 to 11 reps, reaching failure at 11, not because your head said you failed, but because you really, really couldn't lift it again. Okay? Usually when I do strength workouts, I have 4 big moves: something for the legs, something for the chest, something for the back, and something for the beauty part of choice. That could be triceps, back of the arm, could be abs, could be biceps, could be shoulders. It's kind of your choice. You do those big, heavy workouts 2 times a week. Max time on that, 30 minutes. Don't care if you get done with the workout, you're done at 30 minutes. And that is going to be true of the sprint workouts too. Why 30 minutes? Here's what we're trying to accomplish by going really, really heavy or by going really, really fast. We are looking to release human growth hormone. That's the fountain of youth hormone. We are looking to release testosterone. That is a fat burning hormone. You have had testosterone all your life. It will not make you big and manly, but it will help you gain muscle and help you burn calories. So you want testosterone. Why 30-minute cap? Because exercise is stressful for the body. Physical exercise is the same as your boss yelling at you kind of stress. That stress releases cortisol. Cortisol is more likely to store everything as fat than do anything. So we want to find the amount of exercise that increases the growth hormone and the testosterone without increasing the cortisol more. So they're both going to go up, and at about 30 minutes is when the cortisol starts to take over. So whether you are done with what you thought you were going to do for a workout or not at 30 minutes, you are done. 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 Serious. Don't care. Done. When I used to teach the strength class live, usually my experience was in the beginning, people are afraid of getting sore, haven't worked out for a long time. So they start out with lighter weights and are done very quickly, maybe in 15 or 20 minutes. And then by the end of 8 weeks, with enough pushing and prodding and convincing them that they should go heavier, they were not finishing the workouts that were prescribed. And they're like, but I gotta finish. No, I would kick them out of the gym. I'd literally take dumbbells away from women and I would kick their butts out of the gym. Okay? So 30 minutes max 2 times a week on those strength workouts. The second kind of workout, movement exercise, is a sprint. Again, done 2 times a week, different days than the 2 times a week of strength. This is not to be done. It's not like your body goes, oh, that's strength 30 minutes and oh, that's sprint 30 minutes, so we're not going to release cortisol. No. That's an hour if you do it all at the same time. Don't do it all at the same time. You need to do 2 times a week sprint workouts. Again, 30 minutes tops, and 20s even better, right? So what might be an example of a sprint workout? It could be running. It could, but it doesn't have to be. So keep listening. I really do like doing an outside sprint workout. I'm here in Minnesota. We have like 4 months that this is fun to do, right? Go out to the local soccer field. After a warm up, I literally will run balls to the walls from goalpost to goalpost. Run, top speed, whatever it takes to stay on my feet, but go as fast as I possibly can. Takes me about 30 seconds to get from one end to the other. And then I walk my butt back from goalpost to goalpost. Takes me about 2.5 minutes to do the walking back, literally walking back. And I have walked back sometimes and gone, I still can't breathe. And so I will pace for a few more seconds until I can breathe. And then run, take my 30 seconds, whatever, and then walk back. You could do that on the rowing machine. You could do that on the step mill. You could do that on the bike thing. You could, whatever. You could also do what I call sprint weight workouts, which are using the weights that are really, really light. Maybe old school Tammy Lee Webb or Jane Fonda kind of stuff. But again, shut her down at 30 minutes. Now, the thing I want to caution you is jogging is not sprinting, right? So this is a major shift that you need to think about. If you are going for, I have to run 5 miles, And so let's say you're on the treadmill and you know what you're going. So you jog at 4.5 miles an hour so you can get your 5 miles, but you never really get super breathless and you never really have to rest. That is not a sprint. Sprint is going as fast as you possibly can without tripping over your feet. And then having to shut her down till you can breathe and then go again. That kind of workout elicits a bigger response from your body, a bigger human growth hormone response, and that is a fat melting hormone. Okay? So that was your second one. 30 minutes tops, 20 minutes even better, going balls to the walls. See, making this super short, right? Twice a week. Third type of movement to go with the menopause movement, right, is the stroll. Stroll. That is a slow walk. If you are on the treadmill, it is 2.8 miles per hour or less. Did you write that down? 2.8 miles an hour or less. No arm pumping, no breathing heavy, probably no sweating unless the gym's really hot. No breathing heavy. A stroll. Think about you are walking with your new love down the neighborhood. You're looking at, oh look, they did some new landscaping, honey. Oh look, they painted their house. Maybe you're walking with the toddler. Maybe you're walking with an old dog that likes to smell the roses. You are strolling. The purpose here is to get in steps without breaking a sweat. The purpose of the stroll is to increase insulin sensitivity. Why do you increase insulin sensitivity? Let's say you have a Twinkie. At age 5, you're quite sensitive to insulin, so you have the sugar and your body immediately shoots up just enough insulin to save your brain and keep your brain from being poisoned. As you get to be 30, as you get to be 50, that same Twinkie, the Twinkie hasn't gotten any bigger, but your body is so used to having the sugar that the same amount of insulin doesn't counteract it. So it needs to double down and triple down to protect your brain, right? So now you've got 3 times as much insulin floating around in the body. What is insulin's job? Store fat. So if we become more sensitive to insulin, we're working our way back down to, I only need that same level of insulin released as when I was 5. So I have less insulin roaming around my body to store fat. So I'm storing less fat. That is why you want to increase your insulin sensitivity by taking slow strolls. Now, try and get at least 2 times a weekend. So, up to an hour. And those can be up to an hour. Enjoy yourself. If it's going to stress you out, don't go an hour. You can do them up to 6 times a week for an hour a day. And you can combine those with the heavy workout or with the sprint workout, but not if it's going to stress you out. If you're like, I got a half hour a day, Denise, I don't have time for an hour and a half workout, then don't do it those days. If you can even get 2 strolls a weekend, that's great. Frequently asked question, 30 minutes, literally, like your car is going to blow up if you are not back in it and headed home in 30 minutes. Super important, right? Otherwise, cortisol catches up and cortisol stores fat. All right, let's see here. So, just checking my notes before I flip my page. Third M of menopause, mindset. I don't know if mindset is quite the right word. I should have used a different word, I don't know. What you think about? So I've been working with menopausal women a lot. And usually when I first meet someone, if they don't know me very well, they just hear menopause, they're like, what pill can I take to help me lose weight? What pill can I take to help me with my hot flashes? What pill can I take to help me sleep? What pill can I take? I'm not poo-pooing pills, okay? Some of us at different stages need HRT. We need some melatonin to help us sleep. We maybe need to take some appetite suppressant. I'm not a big fan, don't do it. But if you will take 12 or 16 weeks to affect some lifestyle changes, to get a little bit of a detox symptom going on through your body, get your body used to the movement, get your body used to the protein. Even if you still have to take the AHRT, even if you still have to take the melatonin, you won't have to take it. Like, the HRT won't be a lifetime prescription. It will be like a switch flipper, right? It'll like remind your body what it's supposed to be doing. And maybe you only have to be on it for 3 months or 6 months. So that's why I'm a big fan of lifestyle changes, right? Even if you have to be on it a little bit longer term, the lifestyle changes are just going to make it so much more effective, make it so you need a much lower dose. So I'm not opposed to pills. I just think we should also do some of the lifestyle changes to help make them more effective. Okay? Some things to think about during menopause. So much of our society gets its information about menopause from the comedians, right? When they're making fun of the hot flashes, when they're making fun of the brain fog. Like, that's where a lot of the big information comes from, right? From our kids making fun of us that we can't remember walking in a room. But do we do this to our children as they go through puberty? Yeah, we kind of laugh as their voices change. Yeah, we kind of like take a deep breath and remember they're just starting their hormonal cycle and whatever. Menopause is like the reverse of puberty, right? It's your hormones readjusting and refluctuating, and it's us getting used to a new hormone level, right? So things happen. But is it a laughable transition? No, it's just a fact of life transition. If we are lucky enough to make it to menopause, we've reached a very exciting stage, right? I was watching a TED Talk here a while ago, and the woman was talking about that at age 47, right? My great-grandma probably didn't live much beyond age 47. Now, my grandma did, but she probably didn't hear much about menopause except to go into the psych ward, right? So she didn't talk much about it. Now, I've had the discussion with my mom, and she's like, because she didn't really have a huge menopause compared to her sisters or whatever, so she didn't really talk about it with me. So when I started going crazy, it was kind of a surprise, right? And here's the deal. Now, I'm 47 and I'm staring down another 47 years, right? So I'm among the lucky. I've got 47 more years to go and I can do it period free. Yay. I mean, let's be honest. What is a period for? It's so you can have babies and recreate. Whatever. The word went away. Procreate. There you go. So you can procreate. My girls are 23 years old. I do not want another baby. Make it go away, right? This should be exciting. So, I mean, if you're all sad that you've lost your cycle, I'm sorry. I'm not. I don't want any more babies. My babies are 23 years old. Another baby would make me sad. It would put a cramp in my style, right? So I'm a little confused why we get so hung up on when we lose our cycle. Doesn't make us any less feminine. We still have hormones. We can still do all the things we did. Does it change some things? Yeah, it changes some things. Yeah, it's just a mind thing. In my head, it's just a mind thing. How about you? Do you think it's just a mind thing? Or do you... tell me. Other things that happen in menopause that are not necessarily menopause related, but are age and stage of life, right? Are things like having to readjust our relationships with our adult children. That's been quite a shift for me to not mother my 23-year-olds, but to, be there for them, but still know that they can take care of themselves. Other people are dealing with aging parents. Let's talk about that, right? It's hard. Having to take care of aging parents when you finally get your kids out of the house can be a hard shift, right? Where's that time where you get to just do your thing, right? Let's talk about that. Let's let's talk about some of the body changes that start to happen. And neither here nor there. Let's start with gray hair. I don't care if you choose to dye your hair till the day you die. My grandma dyed her hair red until she had dyed hair red at her funeral, right? Or if you decide to just let it go natural at 22 and you have gray hair then, right? It's up to you. But hey, what about some of those changes? Have you noticed, is your hair gray? Some people go from totally straight hair to curly hair. How does that affect how the dye goes in? It's neither here nor there, but why not talk about it? Wrinkles. Yeah, we're getting wrinkles. I'm getting this thing. I wish I would have been warned about that. And whether I get a facelift or Botox or whatever, it's kind of like this whole mom shaming topic, right? Where moms are shaming, where breastfeeding moms are shaming bottle feeders and bottle feeders are shaming breastfeeders. Does it matter? The kid's getting fed. So what if I do Botox? So what if I get a facelift? So what if I get a boob job? Does it really matter? And should we be shaming one another? Could we talk about it? Could we say, hey, I had a boob job. Here's my doctor. Do you want to know who my doctor is? I had an explant. Here's my doctor. And all the things that go around with that. What about vaginal dryness and painful sex? Why is there no warning about this? Right? Just when, woohoo, I can't get pregnant. Now I can't get any action without it hurting? Well, that sucks. What's your favorite lube? What's your favorite position to give up a little bit on the pain, right? What about hot flashes? Have you figured out what causes yours yet? Do you have hot flashes? If you don't, yay. Could you tell me what your secret is? Some of it is awareness, right? I discovered during Girl Scout season that if I eat a whole box of Girl Scout cookies, I'm going to flash for the next 3 days. I've discovered 3 glasses of wine, I'm going to flash. So with that awareness, then what? I don't have Girl Scout cookies anymore. I don't like hot flashes. So I know if that's what's going to take to control it, then that's what I'm going to do. Or you can continue to say, I don't know what causes them, Denise. It just is. Well, then be the victim. But if you want help figuring out what it is, I'm here to help you figure out what they are, right? Let's see. Yep, I already did the body changing, boobs dropping, things like that. Also, swinging back to relationships. Where do you get girlfriends, right? Yeah, some people are lucky enough to have had girlfriends for the last 50 years. I'm not necessarily one of them. A lot of us, our friends, are around what we've been doing with our kids. Well, now my kids are out of school, now what? Some of those women are still at different stages than I am. Where do you find friends? Let's talk about it. One of the things one of my mentors has said repeatedly in her books, Dr. Sarah Gottfried, deal with your hormones now or you will deal with them in menopause. So let's clean up our lifestyle. I'd love to help you through it. Gloria Steinem, I think this is a great one. One day, an army of gray-haired women may quietly take over the earth. I want to lead the charge, guys. I want you to lead the charge with me. I want you to come along with, let's talk about menopause. Let's talk about this natural transition that is not something shameful. It's not something embarrassed. Let's help each other out with the different symptoms and issues that we're having, right? Okay, so your takeaways from tonight's masterclass. 1, meals. Start every meal with protein. Get 100 grams of protein every single day. Eat your veggies, drink your water. 2nd M, movement. 3 types of workouts. You've got 2 sprint workouts. Those are the super duper fast, 20 minutes or less. You've got the strength workouts, super duper heavy, 30 minutes or less. You've got the strolls around an hour, no more than 2.8 miles an hour. 3rd, you've got mindset. Let's support each other. Let's put this stuff out in the open so fewer and fewer women, because the younger women that are coming to me are going, what the hell is this night sweats? What the hell? How come sex is so painful? What do I do for this? What the hell? Overnight, I'm gaining weight around my middle, and all the things I used to do when I was 20s and 30s isn't working anymore. What do I do? Right? Let's put it out there in the open so it's not such a big surprise. Just like when you're 12 or 13, you expect your period. How about when you start hitting your 40s? What can you expect? Let's get it out there. So if you don't have a plan for fall yet, I have got an idea. I have created a new program. It's called Beyond Menopause. It's a 6-week program. It is Facebook based. There is a closed secret group that is only available to the women who are in the group. In it, we will have 6 modules, one every week. There will be one on exercise, where we talk about strength and sprint. Along with that, every single week, I will put out a new workout or 2 workouts every single week. There will be 2 modules on eating for menopause and eating for fat loss in menopause, right? Really hounding down on that protein and the vegetables. And what do you need to take out for night sweats? How can you figure out what's causing the night sweats? What's causing the hot flashes? What's causing the brain fog? What's causing the expanding middle? And then the 3 other modules are on aging, gray hair, vaginal dryness, wrinkles, face melting, right? Face melting, facelifts. How do we work with that? How do we deal with it? How do we work with it? What's going on with it? We're going to talk about sex, right? We're going to talk about painful positions. We're going to talk about lube. We're going to talk about the effect of HRT. We're going to talk about birth control pills. We're going to talk about the IUD. We're going to talk about to absolutely not rely on the fact that you have not had a period for 12 months in order to prevent babies, because that's where surprise babies come from, right? Something else snickered behind the hands. Because why? Because nobody told us that just because you haven't had a period in 3 months doesn't mean you don't have an egg or 2 left. Let's break the secrecy on that one. Quit the surprise babies. And then the third one is relationships. We're going to talk about your relationship with your aging parents and how that changes. We're going to talk about your relationship with your children that are becoming adults, with your children that are becoming parents, right? And your relationship with your grandkids, your relationship with your friends, and most importantly, your relationship with your spouse. If you had kids, all of a sudden you find you have an empty nest, and you look at that person across the table and you go, who are you? How did we ever stay together this long? How is it we've ignored each other for this long? And most importantly, your relationship with yourself. What do you do with your time now? As you retire, as your nest gets empty, what do you do with your time now? We're going to talk about that. So in that closed Facebook group, we will be talking, like I said, there'll be a workout every single week. We're going to talk about foods. We're going to share recipes. We're going to share easy meal prep tips so that we don't have to spend 6 hours every weekend doing meal prep, so that we can still continue to live without being a victim to our hormones. We're going to talk about the aging. We're going to talk about the body changes. We're going to talk about sex. We're going to talk about relationships, right? So right now through the 3rd of September, so through Labor Day weekend, that program, that 6-week program with all the workouts and everything, is only $97. I'm going to drop the link in the comments here when we're done. It will go up to $127 after that. We are going to start on September 9th. That is 2 Mondays from now. It's the Monday after Labor Day Monday, right? 6 full weeks. Full on access to me. I'll be coaching in the group nearly daily. I will have a live training every single week, probably on Tuesday evening. The replay will be up in the group so that you can always come back to it if that's not a time that works for you. Let's see here. Wait. We'll share recipes. We'll share ideas. We'll give our favorite lubes. We'll give our favorite toys. We'll have connection, right? We'll support one another. Hold each other accountable to the workouts. Hold each other to our goals, right? That's the plan here. The plan is to create an army of gray-haired women, or not gray-haired women, that are going to silently raise up and rule the world. So if you have any questions, start dropping them in the comments. I would love to answer the questions. If you have questions after this is done, be sure to drop them in the comments. I will answer them as they come available. Remember, I go to bed very soon, so you might get your answer very early in the morning. If you have any questions on the new program, Beyond Menopause, be sure to drop them in the links. Be sure to shoot me a message. Be sure to shoot me an email. And just know that the filters of Facebook are sometimes kind of weird. So if I don't get back to you right away, be sure to reach out to me at denise@nowgetgoing.com, and I will answer the questions there. So going. Any final questions that I can answer right now? If you're catching this on the replay, shoot me a heart. I'd love to know you saw this. And check out that program, Beyond Menopause. Thanks so much for joining me tonight. Denise Willick-Peterson. Now get going. Beyond Menopause. I'd wink, but maybe we can teach each other how to wink. Good night.